Hello, my name is Kent Philpott. I'm pastor of Miller Avenue Baptist Church in Mill Valley, California. This is kind of a funny subject, but it's about the Ouija board. You guys ever did an Ouija board? When I was a kid, some neighborhood friends and I fooled around with an Ouija board. Lots of kids were doing it. It was very popular then. I think my mother got it for us and showed us how to use it. Strange now that I think about that. At any rate, there we were in the living room beside the fireplace on a wintry afternoon, on our knees around this strange square with numbers on it, the alphabet, and some other kind of odd figures and shapes. Now there was this small heart-shaped object made out of wood, I think it was, and it's called a planchette. Planchette. P-L-A-N-C-H-E-T-T-E, sometimes called that. Sometimes it's even made out of glass. But anyway, we put our fingers on it and were wildly amazed as it moved about the board and answered questions we asked of it. It's strange also that we would ask a game board questions. Anyway, we were shocked when the answers we got made sense and even seemed like right answers, like how could they know, or whoever it was they are. We were excited and scared all at the same time. At first we played with the board every time we got a chance. However, a few things happened that caused us to back away from it. The answers were just too right, funny right. That was the last time I saw an Ouija board, and I did not think much about them until I read a book by Robert Anderson called The Ghosts of Iceland. The Ghosts of Iceland. Now, he's an anthropologist, a cultural anthropologist, and he was studying spiritism in Iceland. And I read in his book about elves and trolls and spirits of the dead, mediums, shamans, and other occult practices and activities, including the Ouija board, that in Iceland was used by mediums and fortune tellers alike. By the way, I was completely shocked, but Iceland is probably the most occult-oriented place I've ever known about. Anyway, I went on the internet, went into Wikipedia, typed in a Ouija board, and found that the Ouija board was introduced to the Western world by a man by the name of Elijah Bond in 1890, but it was a harmless kind of a parlor game and not related to fortune telling or the occult at all. But then during World War I, an American spiritualist, in other words somebody who was like a medium, did seances, a woman named Pearl Curran used it for fortune telling. Now, Ouija believers feel it was supernatural and has supernatural and paranormal powers, while others, not so spiritualist in orientation, think it operates through a phenomenon that is called, let me get the next page, stuck together, the idiomotor effect. Idiomotor effect. In that those playing the game are really moving the planchette around, albeit in an unconscious manner. Other Wikipedia sources link the Ouija board to China around AD 1100 when it was used for automatic writing. The planchette would move to different letters, each written down, and thus a message would appear that was supposed to be from spirits of the dead. Apparently an Ouija type board was used in ancient India and in Greece and in Rome, as well as medieval Europe. Now the question is there something to this or not? The 1973 film The Exorcist tells what is thought to be a true story of a teenage girl becoming possessed by a demon. The film links the possession to the girl's involvement with the Ouija board. This was only one of 25 films that Wikipedia lists as having something to do with the Ouija board. Is there a reality here embedded in the plots of all those films? My research and experience says, yes, there is. Remember, Satan does not play fair, and his devices do not have labels containing full disclosure to the dangers involved. The devil's religion is the occult, magic, fortune-telling, mediumship, seances, and straight-up satanic worship. The Ouija board, how perfect! This fun parlor game for kids is targeted to a youthful audience, but at its core is aimed at making contact with something ethereal and ghost-like, spirits of the dead. My friends and I did not know we were trying to contact the dead, but we were gathered around a tool used for fortune-telling and a means for contacting spirits. Right where the devil wanted us. Remember, he does not play fair. As to the ideomotor effect, maybe, I remember asking, does Diane like me? I think I asked that question, and I wanted the board to tell me yes. And it did. Wow! Diane liked me. Well, let's ask another question. Deeper and deeper it goes. And then strange things begin to happen. Weird things. Scary things. And it begins to follow us around till we are seeing and hearing things. Is there something in it? Yes, there is. And that's part one. I'll be back the next video with part two.